Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another Arena Total War gameplay video. Today we're going to be taking a look at SULLA. He is the new commander which has just been put into the game, and we're going to be testing out his moveset, seeing what he's good at, seeing what he's bad at. We're going to run through a tier 3 game which gives me access to 2 of his abilities, and then I'll level him up quickly, and then we'll play a tier 5 game which will give me access to his full skill set, and I guess that'll be more of a game to see how he really does play overall. He is classed as a defensive champion, which is very interesting because I don't think Rome really has a defensive character quite yet, so it's going to be cool to see how he does fit in. And I think he'll be a really good commander when you pair him with other factions, because he has a really unique set of skills which I don't think a lot of the other factions or even commanders have really kind of access to. So it's going to be cool to see what his abilities are, as he kind of, you know, buffs and debuffs his team and the enemy team, but he also really hits debuffs to himself, so he kind of hurts his own units to hurt the enemy to enable his team to really do the damage. So I think that's very unique, and no other generals or commanders really have that in Arena so far, so I definitely like what they've done with him. So as I said, what we'll be doing is we'll be playing a tier 3 game, so I get access to these 2 abilities, and then we'll play a tier 5 game to get access to everything. I also really like what they've done with the unit cards in Arena. I think these look much better than the ones before. So I'm really happy that they have updated that. And I've also noticed from playing, they've kind of changed quite a few graphical things, just like minor, making stuff darker, making stuff brighter. And I do definitely like it, the improvement on that change. So yeah, we'll run through his skills first. So his first skill is called Fortify. It goes ahead and pretty much makes him extremely slow, pretty much immovable. He loses 80% of his speed, which is quite a lot on a unit. And it's very much like a formed combat if you've played Arena before, which you get on the higher units. It basically just puts you into a tight formation where your shields are pretty close together, and it goes ahead and gives them a 10% charge deflect, which I don't think is too crazy, but I believe you can upgrade it. If we go to defense, yeah, so you get an extra 10%. So on these tier 3 infantry, I go ahead and get an extra 19 charge deflect, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it can definitely add up. But I think the major thing for this Fortify is the shield defense it gives you. It gives you 144% shield defense. I think I've actually upgraded it if we look at abilities. So you can see I've upgraded it a little bit, and we'll run through this tech tree in a second. But yeah, like, so I've gone ahead and upgraded it a bit, but I think even at the lowest tier, it's like 120% maybe, and that's a lot. That's something you really have to look at if you're interested in looking into units. That's 144% when I pop that into formation. It's a toggle ability as well, so it doesn't have any time for it to run out. I just pop it, and then when I want to get out of it, I can pop it again after 10 seconds. But yeah, if you look at it, my shield defense is currently 16 on this unit, and I get 144% of that, which is a ton. You know, the extra, that's like so much extra which someone else won't have, and it's a really good thing to pick up. And I think, I'm not 100% sure what shield defense entirely does. I think it reduces the enemy's chance to hit you, and that's just a huge boost. If anyone does know exactly what shield defense does, do let me know in the comments, because I'd actually be quite interested in that. So yeah, it's a really good kind of formation ability, definitely better than formed combat, and I think it will give you a really good ability to kind of hold the line against, say, a Germanicus or, say, maybe some of the Barbarian units. Then his next ability is Whip, and the really interesting thing about this ability is it buffs you, but it also debuffs you. So you get an increase to your speed, so you can kind of maybe get into a better position, go around the flanks a little bit. You also get a nice increase to your deployable construction time by 50%, which is a lot. If we go ahead and take a look at how long it takes you to build these infantry stakes, it takes you 19 seconds to build these infantry stakes. So if you go ahead and pop Whip and you put these guys down, you can get them down in pretty much 10 seconds, which is a lot like quicker than maybe the enemy will expect, and you can maybe trap and kind of outplay people by popping the Whip ability. You also get some nice armor piercing damage and melee attack. Actually, quite a lot of melee attack. 40% is pretty crazy. Now, it is for a short period of time. It's only for 8 seconds, but the cooldown is only 16 seconds. So you can constantly be popping this. You know, as long as your flanks are secure, as long as your rear is secure, you can constantly be popping this Whip ability, giving yourself, you know, a huge boost to your armor piercing and melee attack. And the fact that it's at tier 3 is really good, because Germanicus is Vengeance. Obviously, it's constant, but that's only 50% at tier 5. So you're kind of getting, you know, almost like a mini Vengeance. Obviously, you have to kind of counterweigh the morale debuff you get. You get minus 25 morale. But again, it's for such a short period of time that you can really use this tactically, you know, and think, oh god, my flanks are secure, let's go ahead and use the whip loads. And then suddenly, oh, my flanks are collapsing, I need to stop using this whip. And the fact that you have a formation ability by Fortify is also really good as well, because it helps just protect you that little bit more and stops you from getting completely surrounded. Then his final ability is Proscription, and it's actually a nice ability. Again, it's a toggle ability, and it is AoE. And basically what it does is it goes ahead and gives a debuff to your own units and all enemy units around you by minus 40%. So that's a huge debuff to melee attack, almost counteracting a Germanicus tier 5 Vengeance, which is pretty impressive. However, your own units have to take that debuff as well. So, you know, SULLA is going to be very useful at joining the fight with his own friendly units. And imagine if you end up popping SULLA with a Caesar. So you have a SULLA infantry army and then a Caesar, no matter what. It could be javelins, it could be infantry. And then, you know, Caesar goes in and pops one of his buffs. He'll go ahead and counteract this melee attack debuff, whilst the enemy still get their melee debuff, as well as getting other bonuses from the Caesar. I think it's the same, say, with a Boudica or something as well. So I think SULLA will be extremely powerful at debuffing the enemy if he has support from someone who can also buff him. I think he'll be more of that aggressive general, being able to constantly pop his whip and, you know, just really kicking that off. Because, you know, as I said, it's such a short period and cooldown that you can really throw that into combat. So I think he's a really, really strong commander. If we take a look at his abilities, we can see that he has some nice buffs to his shield defense. Again, you can see, yeah, 20% and 24%. So yeah, it starts off at 100% shield defense on his Fortify, and then that goes up pretty largely when you do level it up just a little bit. This didn't cost me much whatsoever. But as we continue to go up at tier 10, we get some charge deflect, which is a nice increase. We also get a recharge time, so you can even get the recharge time down, so you can almost, you know, constantly be coming out of this formation and going back into it. You also get a nice little speed reduction, so you can actually almost maybe be moving around a lot more aggressively. And then you also get this base morale as well higher up. We look at his whip ability, you can see you get some nice bonuses to the melee attack. I think what that's like, probably going to be 5% on that, or maybe 4% on that, and 8% on that. So like a 12% at tier 5 increase to that whip, so basically making it into that Vengeance, which is pretty disgusting. We also get some more deployable construction time reduction, which is again really nice, just to whip up them, you know, stakes out of nowhere, to really just almost kind of funnel the enemy in, and then just suddenly put spikes down and trap them in certain situations. I think that can definitely be very useful. And then finally, obviously, the rest of his whip is just more melee attack. Actually, quite a lot of melee attack at the higher tiers, and you also get access to a lot of armor piercing. Actually, that's probably going to end up being like 20-something% extra armor piercing on that whip, which is pretty crazy. Then his final ability, again, just more reduction for melee attack, higher area of effect. Actually getting some minus charge bonus as well on the enemy, and then recharge time. But recharge time doesn't matter too much because it is just a toggle ability. But overall, I think he has a really strong set of skills. So let's go ahead and queue up. I think I've got all of my stuff. Yeah, I have indeed. So let's go ahead and queue up at him, and we'll finally see some gameplay. Sorry, that was kind of a long intro. I think we talked about him for about, you know, 7 to 8 minutes. So yeah, apologies for the long intro, but you know, I want to kind of get you guys a good understanding of what he is all about and his skill set. And now we'll actually jump into a game and see more about him. So yeah, if you guys want to see more SULLA, do let me know in the comments down below, and obviously by dropping a like on the video. On Thermopylae, this will be an interesting map, and I think this will be one which will suit SULLA as a commander, as you know, a lot of the infantry will be quite tightly packed together, and we'll be able to use our Fortify ability and our whip ability with our flanks being somewhat secure. So I think what we'll plan to do is we will go into the center of the map. Maybe the hot gates would be kind of good. Could we have the Fortify ability, which gives us a real nice staying power in the battle. So yeah, we'll see. And obviously that whip ability will be really great because, you know, one of the major debuffs with using it is going to be, you know, the morale debuff you get. But I think the really nice thing about the whip is it's for such a short period of time. It's only for 8 seconds. That if you decide that, like, oh crap, I can no longer use the whip because I'm getting flanked now. You know, it's going to be over pretty quickly, normally before you have been routed, and you can always make that decision of not wanting to use the whip when you see enemy cavalry making their way around your flanks. For example, there we go, we can see the man himself leading his men, such as Silver Fox. Looking awesome. I always click that when I should be just click that. So yeah, let's go ahead and form up in the center. Obviously, we don't want to go alone. We also have a, who's this? We have another SULLA right here. And we also have a tier 3 going over on the right flank. Nice. We have a Germanicus over here, which is good. So we'll just make our way up, and we'll also form up into a longer formation. And what do we have in the center? We have Scipio with his war cry. So that's also something we have to be very careful of. If our morale is low and there's a Scipio by us, we do definitely want to be careful, as we don't want to be, you know, getting chain routed because of that huge debuff. Because I think at this tier, war cry does minus, what, 15 morale on top of a minus 25 we get. That's 40 morale out of the 80 we start off with. So, you know, it's half our morale. If you include that with maybe, you know, an additional flank or something, your unit's just going to go because you're not paying attention to your morale. They're actually pushing pretty heavily here, which we do need to be careful of. We really have no one back here either. I'm going to kind of make my way up here, maybe get some peeler out, get some good damage, and then probably just fall back because we have to be very careful of this huge push going on right here. So I'm actually going to fall back, try and make sure that our dudes are safe here. These javelins need to be really, really careful. This dude is just gone in. But we should be able to catch this guy up now. We also have some nice throws of our own. And we are doing some good rear flankage as well. And I guess we're just going to get stuck in with the enemy down here. They have a Germanicus. Okay, good to know. It'd be really, really nice. Something I would love to see in Arena is having the ability to toggle on when units are using... when units have abilities they've used, they kind of pop up along this unit card. I think that'd be really, really useful. Luckily, that guy's taking a lot of the damage for me, and we can almost just push in here and help him out. So yeah, we can push round the flanks a little bit like so. Just move down. Obviously, we want to be fortified as much as we can. Pop our own fortification. Yeah, we definitely withstood that charge. These missiles, man, are an absolute bitch. So make sure we constantly be popping this whip. Yeah, their missiles are just hurting. I guess I'll fall back a little bit with this unit. Yeah, their missiles just do not care. And we have no way of really dealing with them either. We can be constantly popping the whip though, because again, our flanks aren't really an issue. And I guess we want to do as much damage as possible. I don't really want to stick around in here. Okay, so yeah, you guys aren't even fortified. What the hell? Fortify up, and you can see they have a nice little fortification right here. I've got rear flank and I've got left flank, and I think that's going to be enough to break them, so let's pull them back. I just don't really want to be... Okay, nice. Actually, sorry, that was my mistake then, I guess. Yeah, let's move up this unit then. I didn't realize we had missiles hitting them here, and if I would have known, I would have committed more of my men. Again, here we can constantly be popping this whip. I should be popping that a little bit more. So let's just pour it down. Hopefully this unit will come back from routing any second now. So we'll just go in, pop our fortification. And our morale is looking okay. Okay, we've actually been right flanked already. I don't think we're gonna get rear flanked. Keep popping that whip when I can. Okay, we have popped that whip, but I think I can just about survive it. Oh god, that's not good. Yeah, that was really bad by me. They got a really nice cavalry charge off. I mean, I am kind of alone right here. Them archers are definitely hurting. But with this fortification, you know, once we do form up, we're actually somewhat decent. And that whip is really helping us out, you know. We're almost beating back a Germanicus right now. And the fortification is giving us some great bonuses. We have it on all of our units right now. Good shield defense. And, you know, we have to be really careful with how we apply this whip. You know, when our morale's looking not great, because it's going pretty low, you know. Right now, we're down to, what, 26 morale, you know. I know one more flank, you know. If I see the enemy making their way to me, I have to be really careful with that. We can pop the whip here, though, on this unit. Again, just to keep on doing that damage to them. That cavalry has overwhelmed me, and I definitely cannot no longer pop the whip here, because I'm going to be getting rear flanked. We should just about be holding here. Luckily, we are only fighting tier 1s, and I guess we can also come in here. We'll obviously pop off our fortification, make our way in here, try and outflank them. How are we doing? 190 kills isn't great. I definitely feel like I have definitely been more of the... we'll actually pop our fortification now to help us out. I feel like I've definitely been more of a sacrificial lamb this battle. We actually come in here as well, get rid of that fortification. And I think everyone here can be popping their whip now as well, because our morale is looking pretty decent on all our units. So yeah, let's constantly pop that whip, and you can just see the speed of which I can constantly be popping the whip. Now I need to be careful though. My units are wavering, and they also have their commander being slain on the battlefield. And I've also just been rear flanked here. Luckily though, the friendly Greek cavalry came in, which is huge. We've actually been routed there. Something that you might not know though is you can control your own routing units. So we're actually going to pull out this unit of the battlefield. Hopefully it will come back soon. But we have to be really careful with our units. I think this one can pop the whip. Yeah, this one can pop the whip fine. And this one has come back now. But, you know, if, for example, if I was to suddenly pop the whip on this unit, it would just straight up rout. And we would lose it. 261 kills, not too bad. So where else is the battle going on? Mainly in the center right now. Let's make our way over here. Again, I just can't afford to pop the whip on any of my units right now. And something we need to make sure we try and do is secure a flank on our unit. Because luckily they do have their right flank secure, so the morale is going to be high. There's not really a lot of these guys left anymore to really do too much of, you know, damage. So I just need to try and keep them alive on the battlefield and get involved in this big old battle. So let's make our way over. And again, for example, if I was to suddenly pop, you know, use the whip on this unit, which doesn't have a lot of morale, you know, it could just straight up rout from the field of battle. I mean, I'll just lose it. Whereas if I'm careful with it, you know, I mean, unfortunately, that unit was just going to rout. There's only 4 of them left. But, you know, I have to be really, really careful with how I apply the whip. Luckily, we have a lot of missiles going in here. We ideally need some cav right here. I think a lot of our, yeah, that infantry will be really useful right now. We also have some peelers still left remaining. And I feel like we've done good, you know. As I said, I don't really think this is a commander to do a lot of damage on. More of just a support general, and I couldn't really use him that effectively either, I don't think, because I was stuck down here defending that right flank. Can we get our javelins out there? Are we going to reach that? Yeah, we're nice. It does look like javelins do throw almost automatically now, like really quickly. There's no like wind-up time. We're going to try and scare these guys off a little bit, and then maybe get involved. This cavalry honestly needs to come in here, though, because, yeah, that's going to hurt me a lot. That's so much damage. We're just going to try and get involved in the battle, I think. Oh, they're coming back. They're coming back. Cool. Let's charge them then. Nice. If we can catch these guys, that's so much damage going off. And yeah, we are going to be slain now. I feel like we did okay. We lost, you know, all of our units, but we got a good amount of damage as SULLA. And I feel like, you know, we didn't really use him as effectively as we could because we were by ourselves. I think I honestly need to be with my team where my flanks are secure so I can constantly be hitting that whip. But hopefully you guys saw the ability. Also, they've gone ahead and added this in, which I think is kind of a nice addition. Shows you who really did the most damage to you, like who your nemesis was, which is who did the most damage to you. And as you can see, I took so much damage from them archers from the get-go. I think it's something I should have let the enemy maybe come out of that little choke point a bit more. And you also get to see, you know, what also did you know, kind of hurt you the most, what bonuses you got. I kind of feel like these flanking things are kind of a bit pointless, because you'd be like, yeah, I know I got flanked. I don't really, like, this is kind of, I don't really see the point of this bit right here. But, you know, the rest of it is kind of cool. I guess it is kind of apply in some situations. But maybe it'd be kind of cool if you could pop like a drop down and see what exact units of the, you know, what exact infantry units did do the most damage to you. Could be kind of cool. So we'll watch the rest of this battle just because I'm interested to see how it does pan out. I think we're going to lose it, if I'm honest, though. We have all this infantry left, but we have no real way of catching their missiles. And this guy is either going to have to turn around and now get shot to pieces. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. What is he as well? Yeah, what general unit is he? He is a SULLA as well, so I just don't think he has enough damage, if I'm honest, to finish this. Because if I was the javelin player, I'll just be friendly firing the shit out of my units. So actually, maybe not, though, because I didn't even see all of these from Uncle Thrash right there. Maybe we do have this. I don't know. It's going to be really hard to catch these guys. But maybe these guys can do it. They pop the whip, which is really smart, getting that speed bonus. Morale really isn't an issue unless these horses come round. Yeah, I just don't really see a way that we can catch these guys, because they're going to be pretty fast. I imagine that their speed is going to be a lot more than us, even with the whip. So their speed is 4.5 with their dash ability. Whereas ours, you can see, is only 3 with the whip. Is that with the whip activated? Don't think it is, actually. So maybe we can, but yeah, they're going to be able to do that. It's a lot of damage going off. And I think if they're smart, and honestly, he should be splitting up his characters as well. Because whilst one of this unit is chasing these, they can kind of split them up and all get them shots off. Yeah, I honestly don't think we're going to win this. Especially with that cavalry coming in as well. Nice little fortify right there. I imagine the shield defense as well, but it's just like no speed bonus whatsoever. I mean, he is coming round. Honestly, like, reinforcements just need to get here. Luckily, I don't think they can see this unit due to line of sight. I honestly don't think they can see them. That's perfect. Use the whip and get up there. The whip should definitely be used nice. That's going to be giving them a great speed bonus. Actually, almost nice, and we've caught them. That line of sight, I mean, obviously you guys could see that, but the enemy couldn't see them because of the line of sight. You can see right now, you can't see anything round here. That was really useful. I don't think that was intentional, but I think that literally won us the game because they maybe didn't have a cavalry there, and this guy wasn't really paying too much attention. He does still have one unit left remaining. Should be getting a few javelins off, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, honestly, at all. Especially if they dispatch a unit just to chase them. If they have any peeler as well, that'd be great. I'm not sure if they have any left, though. Yeah, there's only like 53 of them left. So 52 of them left now. But a pretty close battle overall. 162. Yeah, just keep chasing them. And like, let's just go into the base and start capturing, I think. If they had any peeler left, which I assume they don't, otherwise they would have obviously thrown it. That whip definitely does catch you up to a lot of, you know, missiles. Obviously, it leaves you vulnerable maybe to some cavalry charges. You know, if we get a Scipio coming in, using his war cry and kind of a flank with his cavalry, you're going to just straight up rout a unit off the bat. But one of the things I really, really like about SULLA's abilities is that he can choose when to use the whip and choose when not to use the whip. Because it is such a short cooldown, you know, it is only 8 seconds. Because this cavalry uses momentum and then immediately stops and just loses the momentum buff. I mean, honestly, he should just break fortification and just jump in. Or fortify, sorry. I keep on calling it fortification. It is obviously fortify. And we're going to start our cap now. Oh, nice. And they routed. They just routed due to just to having no men left in their unit. Which is good. And then it's just this cavalry left as well, which is being kind of annoying. So overall, where did we come on the team? You know, not too far down. I think we came out 4th, maybe, in kills. So pretty good overall. Yeah, this one unit just got slaughtered. But if it wasn't for my archers, I think I would have done much, much better. But then the archers pretty much just slaughtered my entire unit right now. I mean, you see the amount of damage going down. Just 20,000 on my units, which was just so brutal. And now we're just going to cap. But I mean, we're going to win this game, so we're just going to leave. Because I know we're going to win. There's no point watching that cavalry run around. It's not going to be able to physically stop us. So that's perfect. So cool. Oh, he's currently in battle. I kind of like this as well. It's a nice little graphics change. So what we will do is I'll go ahead and upgrade him when I get the chance to, when he obviously does come out of battle, and then we'll jump into a tier 5 game. We'll also make sure we get all these extra bonuses as well, having the extra melee attack on the whip, along with the shield defense, and obviously we'll also get access to this debuff as well, the proscription as well. So cool, I'll see you guys in the next game. Okay guys, we are now in a game on Salernum. I think this will be a pretty good match for SULLA, mainly because he can use his debuff really effectively, and something I want to test out is, does his debuff affect his own units? As in, if I pop my proscription, which is the 40% melee debuff, if I pop that on this unit, does it affect the other ones? Let's have a look. It doesn't. That's really, really good actually, and that's much better than what I thought it was. We're actually going to be using that pretty effectively. We'll obviously turn that off for now in a second. Let's just turn that off for now. But that's really useful because it means that if you spread out your units, you know, like was exactly what we're going to do. If we spread out our units, we can go ahead and, you know, debuff, you know, maybe 2 or 3 of his units and then keep, you know, our units still up using that whip and kind of stacking them buffs whilst also debuffing the enemy. That's really good. I definitely think that's how it should be. I think it should, you know, debuff the majority of your units, but not everyone. We also might as well pop our whip as well, just to give us an extra speed bonus, because 16% is actually quite a lot. So what we're looking like we're coming up against, some Astarte for now, some missiles, which are going to be very annoying for us to deal with. Actually, that's actually really annoying for us to deal with, if I'm honest. Especially because we're super clumped up as well. So I guess you guys go there, and you guys make your way northwards. Oh, good. He's not actually going to engage. We're going to continue to move up, I think, and avoid their missiles, because I don't really think we'll be able to deal with them. There's actually pikes over here as well, but we can probably take care of the pikes with the large amount of peeler we have. That's a nice amount of damage onto them. I think as well, I think we'll maybe try and look to push in here as well. Try and stop these guys. Oh, what are they up to? They're actually looking to face me, which is fine. Let's make our way around the flank then and try and get away. And we're also going to try and also sneak our way forward or through this gap right here. This is a really bad situation for us. I don't really want to commit to this battle, if I'm honest. And nice, we managed to get our way through. Perfect. Let's cut all these guys down. We obviously, unfortunately, don't have a charge. We're going to have to go in here and help out. And then I guess you just come up here for now. At the moment, we're doing a great job. These pikes are annoying, but we're going to hopefully silence them. You guys come in. We're also going to pop our huge debuff off on all of these guys and get ready to come in. Actually routing a lot of their men as well. And we'll also pop our whip to help us get there. Same over here as well. Pop our whip just to help us with that charge bonus. Some good damage there. Rear flanking them. Also giving them a huge debuff as well. You guys continue to charge that. And you guys should be... Oh, there's so much cavalry there as well. Crap, let's turn and pop our fortification. Let's hope that this will give us a nice little charge impact. Oh, this Greek cavalry, though. We honestly do not stand a chance. We are going to catch these guys, though, which is good. And you guys, there's so much I can do. I guess I could have maybe have helped out there. I guess at least we managed to catch these guys. Is kind of decent. You guys have routed those. Let's fall them back. We're dealing with these archers, which we should be able to kill fairly convincingly. Maybe get another nice little javelin toss there on the pillar. Not really that great. Obviously, we're constantly popping that. And then you guys, there's not really much you guys can do. I mean, luckily we've managed to get a nice little charge there, but we're honestly in a pretty tricky situation. Don't really know where I want to go. I guess I do want to make my way down here and just engage, pop that fortification, and hope for the best. We obviously, maybe we can pop our whip as well. Yeah, let's just move in, pop fortify, and just get engaged there. We've got some more infantry coming. These archers are actually going to be somewhat stock. And you guys can come back, and I don't really want to just be tied into killing them pikes. So let's move you down there, pop your whip just to give you a nice little speed buff. You guys can maybe pop that whip. How much morale? You have 40. Oh no, you've been rear flanked now. Probably just going to straight up route. And I honestly think it's more important we force these archers out more than anything else. Oh, we can't. We honestly can't, though. We need to turn and fight this. We're just going to pop our fortify. Again, pop our debuff as well on all of these guys. Oh no, actually what I should have done is put my debuff on this unit. Yeah, I definitely should have put my debuff on that unit. So let's go ahead and undebuff this unit now. And then pop our debuff on this unit. Because this unit is like so influential. Like, I mean, doesn't do anything. And it's still affecting all of these guys. Giving them a negative debuff. We also don't need to be in our fortified stance. And we can also pop our whip as well to fight these guys. More reinforcements coming. We're actually going to retreat out of here. Because I don't really want to be in this little engagement. So we're going to retreat back there. Again, using that whip. That debuff as well. Oh god, that's not good. We just about managed to dodge that. This is not a good place for us to be in. We'll pop our fortified stance and maybe we can try our best to get over here and reinforce. We can't be popping that whip. Luckily though, this one unit which has got no men in whatsoever, it's got 29 HP left out of 25k and it's affecting all of these guys really nicely and giving them all debuffs. So I'm hoping we can come in with this unit, pop our whip for the extra speed buff and then just come in and hit these guys nicely. That's really good. And they're also not being affected. Oh, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, these spears should guard our back. Okay, we've lost our debuff now, so I think this unit pops it, if I'm honest. Reducing all their debuffs. You guys have to be careful now. Probably can't pop that, but we can pop our fortify. What is it actually called? Sorry, fortify, yeah. We can pop that. They have also missiles hitting us, which isn't great. You guys can actually break the fortify, though, and continue to fight. You should be able to break this and maybe even go scare off them archers. We honestly need some form of cavalry to come in. Yeah, we honestly need our cavalry up here, if I'm honest. Them pikes as well are going to be such a bitch. I think what we do is we just move on now and we try and fall back to the base. A barrage! This is a perfect time to go after them, though. And we'll also get rid of our own debuff. Because with barrage, they pretty much become immovable. They're like super slow. And we can actually maybe try and catch a few of them. We're definitely going to lose this unit, though. I guess we should pop that debuff on all of them just to keep us alive a little bit longer. Cavalry, though. Cav, city, help. Well, there's so many archers here just waiting to be killed. All I need to do is fall back and they can easily deal with that. We are, unfortunately, though, going to be losing this unit. But, you know, you've got to think about it. You can't use a whip in this situation. If I use a whip, this unit will just rout. Whereas this way, I'm currently holding up a lot of enemy units, if I'm honest. Like, a lot of them. We can pop our whip on this one, though. Got cav anywhere. There's so much cav here. Just, I guess they are kind of being used elsewhere. But one of these units could definitely have come in and helped out. And there's nothing I can really do now. We're just going to have to take a lot of missile fire now. This is going to be brutal, because they're just going to turn and start shooting me. There's not really much I can do about it either. Just have to use our whip and try and get out of there. Make our way back to the base. The cavalry's turning up now. But yeah, I think what we do is we just fall back. How are we doing so far? 200, almost 300 kills. That's pretty decent. And as I said, yeah, this missile fire is going to hurt, but there's nothing we can really do about it. You know, we can't form a defensive testudo. We just have to literally, you know, constantly keep popping this whip and going out. And I mean, as someone who can't really do a lot of damage, can't really catch missiles too well. I mean, the whip speed buff does help, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I can't really do too much stuff to deal with all these missiles and, you know, the cavalry charges and stuff. I feel like I've done quite a bit of damage. Our general dying, though, is going to definitely hurt our units. But again, the debuff is just huge on all of these guys. Their melee attack is for 50. And if we go to my normal unit, my normal unit, if we can select it, will it show me? For some reason, it's not even showing me my my own melee attack. Oh, it's right here. You look at it, so it pretty much gets cut in half. That's ridiculous. We obviously want to avoid the fire right there set down by our units. And just fall back. We want these archers to come out into the open. We definitely have the advantage. But I think you guys can see how little these guys are doing to my unit right now. And this can be so useful because at the moment, I'm holding up 4 or 5 units of their infantry with that debuff right now. And if I was in the situation where I could be popping, or actually pop a nice little testudo there because I know they do have missiles there. Yeah, if I was in the situation where I had my flank secure and I could be constantly popping this whip buff to my units, you know, like, I think you would just rip through the enemy with a debuff and then the whip as well. Now, you just have double their melee attack, and that's a lot. Especially if you're debuffing them with 1, and then you also have 1 unit which is doing a lot of damage. These guys should not be moving out here. I don't really know what they're doing. Just fall back to our base. We have the advantage. I mean, if anything, we can just push on them. Yeah, we might as well just push on them, actually. Their archers aren't here to be seen, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and surround these guys. Taking control of these guys. Yeah, light peeler, smart there. You guys move over as well. If you can get your peeler out as well. Raised shields actually makes them really slow. That's what we need to hit right now with our missiles. All the peelers going out. I guess we'll make our way over here as well. Popping our whip as well to help us out. Pop that testudo as well on that guy. Yeah, these pikes are going to be pretty screwed. Especially now that, yeah, nice. We probably want to get over here so we can use our debuff effectively. So we're actually going to make our way because I think the enemy have this. Yeah, definitely these guys have this. I mean, we can just use 1 unit as well. Just to chase them down. I mean, what they're going to do by themselves, not a lot. So we'll just send 1 unit there. We definitely want to get over here so we can debuff them all with our abilities. Use our charge, get a little bit closer. I don't want to waste this this light peeler throw so we can decap with it. But yeah, we're going to come out. And this Barbarian player is doing very smart. You never want to be the one full-on engaging Roman infantry. The Barbarian infantry job is to simply just chip away at the enemy. We want to come around here as well. Oh, we can't pop our ability anymore, our debuff, because our general has died. That's unfortunate. But we can come around this flank and still be pretty influential. We'll come in, use our whip as well, just to help us with a bit more of a speed. Lots of damage down on them. Perfect. Okay, good. See, you're currently fighting pikes. I don't really know why. Whoever engaged that was pretty pointless. I guess you guys come around here. And we'll send our own infantry in first. And then, obviously, you guys should be moving around as well to help out. Oh, obviously, get out your testudo as well. And we'll just cut them down, I think. With my whip ability, with my flank secure, I'm just going to out-damage the damage they have at their disposal, for sure. Especially because we're surrounding them as well. Helps out a lot. Especially with all these barbarians as well. A Falksman should be really useful here. And obviously, keep popping that whip. Heavy infantry charge coming in. And I think it's just these pikemen left, which I'm surprised no one sent stuff to go. The cavalry should go and stop. Thankfully, the cavalry will turn up, but you know, maybe that's something we shouldn't have left a chance. You know, if some random circumstance happens where they actually get enough points to cap, then that would not be fun. Thankfully, we have enough men to send back. So hopefully, you kind of see the power of SULLA in this battle. You know, you shouldn't be using him like a Germanicus. you should very much be using him more of a defensive champion, which is something I guess I haven't really shown too much in this. I've kind of been that front line, but I think it's just the kind of consequences of these tier 3, 4, 5 games, is you kind of have very few situations where you do, you know, kind of use him well. So I think it shows that you can use him nicely when you play solo, but in a team I think he'll be so powerful because his ultimate ability is great. The fact that it doesn't affect your other 2 units when you pop it is, I think, huge. Because if you think about it, when your units are all close together, the majority of the time you can reach multiple enemy units, you know, if your units are all in a line, but by just using the central unit, and you're kind of debuffing them by 40%. And then you're also buffing your 2 side units as well by using the whip on them. And it's just really good. You know, you end up having almost like 100% more melee attack from the enemy, which is crazy. As I love this. Reversing Getrix is just burning them alive. Good, good, good. Continue to set them ablaze. I mean, that's all they can do. Break their pike phalanx and then just die. More fire coming in as well. The cavalry's going to come in and finish them off. And that is going to be a victory for us in this battle. Good. And I think we did pretty good on the general himself, if I'm honest. I mean, it does help that we are a higher rank, but we did come up against some good missiles and stuff, and we were definitely outnumbered in the city itself. So hopefully you guys got a good impression of the general himself. We are for sure going to have to do more battles on him. Maybe we can even get some good team play. I think we actually got the most kills. We got the most kills on the team besides this Barbarian cavalry, so not too bad whatsoever. Considering we had 2 CPU players as well, I'm happy with that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the general himself. Are you going to be picking him up and playing him? Or are you guys going to be sticking to your generals you currently have at the moment? I also wouldn't be surprised if we actually end up getting a new faction next after this commander as well. Because Rome has 4 generals, the Greeks have 4 generals, the Barbarians don't have 4 generals, but Boudica is kind of somewhat new in the closed beta. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we were seeing maybe a Persia or a Carthage or like an Eastern faction kind of set of roster which has like Persia, the Seleucids and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up getting a new faction sometime soon, you know, maybe at the end of open beta, which would be amazing. I'd really, really love that for sure. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.